The final section of the Facebook Insights panel that we're going to explore is the People tab. And inside of the People tab, you're going to be able to see lots of different information about the people that actually visit and interact with your page. On this first page here, you're going to get information about your fans. That's people who like your page. So you can get a breakdown of how many of those are men and women. For instance, my fans are 62% male, 37% female. And then compare that to Facebook. All of Facebook is 54% male, 46% female. So mine are actually a little bit off from that. So I've got less female fans than all of Facebook has female users and more male fans than they have male users. You can also see based on demographics how well you're performing versus the rest of the Facebook ecosystem. So for instance, I have quite a bit more 45 to 54-year-olds than Facebook does as a whole. Same thing for 35 to 44-year-olds for females. I'm a little bit under in the 25 to 34 demographic. I'm way under in 18 to 24, and I don't even register in 13 to 17. Same thing for males here. I'm just not doing it quite right in the 13 to 24 market. I'm way above average in the 25 to 34-year-old male market. And then I start to slack off a little bit in the 35 to 44, and then I'm way over in 45 to 54, and also 55 to 64, and then 65 plus. So most of my audience tends to skew a little bit towards the older side of things. So I can use that information to help me craft the types of posts that I use. I also realize here that more than half my users are male as opposed to female. That might change the way that I feel about the types of content that I share. I can also, underneath that, get an idea of where my people are. So out of the 3,000 some odd people that like my page, I actually have 1,400 of them that are in the United States of America. In India, I have 157, United Kingdom, 145, and all the way down to even in Mexico, I've got 43 people that like my page in Mexico, which is really interesting to me. I can then break that down based on city. What's interesting to me is Murray, Kentucky, that is actually where I'm originally from, is leading the pack with 69 people that like me in that city. So thanks everybody back home for that. What's interesting to me, though, is that directly underneath that, the next leading city is Cairo, Egypt, which I find to be just fascinating. And then underneath there, we've got London, England, Los Angeles, Atlanta, New York, Seattle. I've got lots of different diverse communities that pay attention to what I say. And then I can also break it down based on language. So the good thing for me, since I'm only a native English speaker, is most of my fans do speak English. Some of them are from the UK, but a vast majority will be able to understand what I'm saying, hopefully. Now, I do speak some Spanish, and Spanish is the third leading language here, but I don't think that number is quite high enough for me to post anything specifically in Spanish. You can click down here at the bottom to see more information, and this will break it down even further. You can see just how far your reach actually goes. And so I'm always fascinated to go through here and see things like Singapore, Jordan, Japan, Israel, Ireland, Bulgaria. I mean, it's just really cool to think that you have the ability to touch the lives of people that far away. Now, if you're just a local business and you're trying to use Facebook for local business purposes, chances are you're not going to care about how many people you reach in other countries, and that's fine. What you should consider is how many people are you reaching in the United States? How many of those people are actually in your hometown or within a short driving distance of your business? How many of those people, speak whatever language that you speak? If you're geared more towards a male dominant audience in the products and services you sell, do your fans reflect that? If not, how do you change that? What type of content do you need to create in order to increase your reach in a given demographic that you're trying to target? So for instance, if I was after the 18 to 24-year-old female market, what am I going to do to increase that? Because right now it's so low. Well, maybe that's not the demographic I'm going after. Maybe I'm going after the 25 through 54-year-old market, which is generally where I'm probably aiming most of the time. I'm aiming for young professionals all the way up to people who have been in the business for a long time. I'm helping them further their career and extend their skills. So I actually think that my reach is really right where it needs to be in these categories, which is nice. But if you're not hitting your target demographic, what can you do different based on this information to try to change that? It's a really interesting question to pose yourself. You can also go up here to the top and see people reached. So you can see here of the people that you reached, that means the number of people your post was served to in the last 28 days. So 39% of that was women, 60% of that was male. So I'm reaching a little bit more women than I was before, which is nice. And then you can see based on the demographics, look at this. I'm actually up in the 18 to 24-year-old market. And I'm really hitting the nail on the head for most of these right here in the middle. I'm a little bit lower than I would like to be probably in the 25 to 34-year-old market for males. So what can I do to craft more content that fits that? Of the people I've reached, so we're still in North America, we're getting it pretty much all the traffic right there, but my cities are different. Most of the people I reach are in Kansas City, Missouri, Los Angeles, California, London, England, which is very interesting. Spanish is now number 4 in the languages. French is number 3 in the people that I actually reached, which is pretty cool. Now, the one that I care the most about, people that are engaged. What percentage of my users are actually talking to me and I'm talking to them? They're sharing my stuff. They're being a champion for my brand. They're helping me spread the good word, as it were. Well, this means people who have liked, commented, or shared your post or engaged with your page in the last 28 days. So again, I'm bigger in the male market than I am in the female market, which is fine. I'm right about where I am for the split, for the overview. And then you can see here, I'm really up in certain demographics, both male and female, different age groups. But check this out. This is what I found interesting. The number one country where I get engagement is the United States of America. But Bangladesh is the top city, which is pretty cool. Then English, of course, is their first language. And then French third. Spanish is 4th, Dutch 5th, etc. And you can break this down all the way down to the bottom. And I mean, it's really interesting. The amount of people that I'm able to reach, the different countries, the different sections of the world that I am able to touch lives and speak to and engage with. And if your objective is to reach people, even extending past your hometown or your home city, this is a great place to really find out just how well you're doing at that. If you're not into that, that's okay too. Make sure you're tracking the cities that are close to where you are. Are those cities within driving distance where you can drive people through your front door, get more foot traffic, get more people coming to your events, whatever the case may be? This is all great information that you can use to your advantage to help tailor your updates and your content and the time that you post and where you post and all that stuff to really start to increase the amount of reach that you have and drive engagement and hopefully conversions through your page.